June 30th, 2023. Yesterday, I played the last tape, and people followed me into a store in Akron, and they said, we heard what that bastard did. That was over her case. I was calling John a bastard. Okay? The people following around listening heard what that bastard did. I went down to Maslin after work and got Chinese food. I walked out from Chinese food. Some lady yelled out, I told those people I found out what they did to her, and they better leave her alone. Okay? I came home and I went to walk from park. People were sitting out here. Now, people lap up the shit like dogs. Eat it up like shit like dogs. They're like, Karen's will's gonna pay them off so they don't say anything. They can't say a word to me. This is where they can't say a word to me. Will's not going to give them money. They're lying to everyone. Do you know who's doing this? It's Lighthouse Tabernacle, New Life Tabernacle in Maslin, and Apostolic Church of Barberton, and a drug cartel. They're Katie's friends and family. They're all intermarried or friends of friends. Where I wasn't the only one Strange was mean to, and a lot of his church over the years left and branched into the other churches. And they're all intermarried and friends of friends. My one son would make horrible jokes about them being so intermarried. Okay? I told him cut it out. But they're very intermarried. And they're friends of friends because over the years he was cruel to a lot of people. And they left. Okay? So this is Savannah's friends, Katie's friends. And those are calls. And I'll tell you what, if they even check for the fake FBI agents, they're probably sitting in New Life Tabernacle in Apostolic Church of Barberton that impersonated federal officers, and it's probably the drug cartel. Because the only agent that was working my case was John. Okay? Now, where I said the night before I called that agent back, where I told you they kept me drugged up so bad I couldn't call him back for a few days, couldn't get out of bed. Then I got up and mowed the lawn, got enough air in my face, and called Sarah, and she said she'd witnessed for me. I went out and bought her a card, took it down to Zale's Jewelry, and her manager put it in the locker, and we went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Paymer got, and he says, my God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. He told on me before I even called him back from the hotline. Okay, they kept me drugged up till I could come up with this. And I walk off. Two ladies are standing there and said that he knows she's being drugged, beaten, and raped, and he don't care. Well, I'm covered in bruises. I've been thrown up. I've already lost 18 pounds. And I got a really bad personal infection. I had a sinking feeling in my stomach. And I walk off and I go in and I sit down. They follow me in and sit behind me. He said, he told us that if she was going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well, while that family was grieving, that she stood up in the middle of the funeral, y'all, God healed her and walked around. That never happened. Never happened. I had endometriosis, had 6 to 10 surgeries. The medication they were giving me caused kidney stone, and it damaged one of my kidney tubes, and they had to repair my kidney. I was cut front and back 6 to 10 times in a 2.5 years period. I was in so much pain. They even gave me almost looked like a back brace, but it was like a stomach brace, and it would wrap around like a girdle because I couldn't hardly sit up. I was in so much pain. Then I went to pain management. Don't go there, witch doctors. They gave me alternative medicine. They diagnosed me with fibromyalgia, and they started steroid injections. I gained 100 pounds. I started swelling right away. They didn't catch it was a medication error. They kept giving me more different medications, and everything quit working, and I started swelling, and then my knees started popping out of place from the swelling. My feet went from a 7.5 to an 8.5 wide, and I'm falling, and my legs are double the size. and my heart's getting off, my pituitary gland swelling, my adrenal gland quit working, my thyroid, and I'm dying from the medication they're giving me, and they're not catching it. And it's Cleveland Clinic. They didn't catch it. And I had all those surgeries in the local hospitals. It's all documented. MRI report showing the swelling, everything. See, that's the whole thing. I suffered for years, and I wouldn't have got that bad if I wouldn't have went to pain management. I would have been in horrible pain probably for a year. Because you got to think, you have one surgery, you hold yourself for 6 months to a year for those muscles to heal. Try being cut for up here, belly button several times going in, trying to repair where those cysts are bursting, cut side to side for one part of the hysterectomy, my back, my appendix was taken out. I was cut everywhere within 2.5 years. I didn't have muscles to rely on for the other muscles. That's why I went into fibromyalgia, and then the pain medication made my body swell up like that and quit working. That's where Joanne Young told me about the doctor that deals with pain medicine and gets you out moving. I went and seen him. He said, I got a lady not quite as bad as you, and I have her running on a treadmill in 9 months. And I thought, you're crazy, I'm dying. My heart's even gone off. And he, sure enough, told you the first month I puked. The second month, I could drive a car. I started pulling myself around places. They put me on fentanyl patches, breakthrough Vicodins. They gave me muscle relaxers. I told you, Tyler and Phil got in a traffic accident. I started with that doctor in November of 22, and it was May 3rd, 2023, when they got killed in a traffic accident. My whole family's at home, and Brian and Laney had to come tell us. And I told you we didn't know, and Vega lost it at the funeral, and it was horrible. But the spontaneous remission that happens 80% of the time didn't happen till July. And I'd already told him about the spontaneous remission. My mom told everybody. While she's doing so much better, I had went from a 24 women's down to a 16. I had been out working out every day, almost. And I had lost all that weight. My feet had went from 8.5 wide down to an 8 regular. The swelling was going down that much. And as the swelling went down, everything started working again. The pituitary gland went down. It was a medication. Like the nurse at Altman Family Physician. It was a medication error. Even though it was 20 years ago, they should have caught it. Duh. They almost killed me. Nothing had to do with nothing. And a minister showed up, gave me a football lecture. And it was still, fight through the pain, rebuke it, da-da-da-da. I was already doing that. But it was 4 days later after that. The muscles tightened up enough that, like he said, 9 months later. And it took 9 months for mine to go in remission of working out. The muscles get strong enough and healthy enough that they stop spasming. It took 2 more months before I quit falling. And nothing to do with nothing. But Strange made up that lie because Katie had come back to church, and Dave knew her reputation of being wild and sleeping with anything. And they made up that scam. She was faking she was sick and faking she got well, that family was grieving. So I would sit out of church and he could go there and have whatever girlfriend he wanted. They opened up marriages. But those churches, it's like any call. They keep their women with long hair, long skirt, keep them covered up. And then they prostitute their women to married men. They open marriages. Why get married? That's the whole thing. They're all lying to everybody. There's no attorney involved. Dave is not God over me. In 1860, they abolished slavery. No man can own another man. You can't own somebody legally. You are not over somebody. Dave cannot give them, my ex-husband, while we were married, permission to kick in my door and set up button cameras stalking me and take me unaware. In my home, there's a right to privacy. I have constitutional rights of a right to privacy. He cannot hire a drug cartel to take me unaware. He cannot have them break in, lie they have sodium pentothal reports, Amnesia drugged me. Drug, beat, and raped me, covered with bruises, run into the bathroom, throwing up, and then get a severe personal infection. He's human trafficking me out of that house under drugs. So I only know that I got a personal infection, a super bad one, and swollen. And I got marks on me I can't explain, bruises everywhere, and I'm throwing up, headache, dizzy, heart racing. And I'm going to the doctor all summer long for it. They're like, did you fall? No, I've moved a few things, but I didn't bang myself. Where all these bruises come from? Maybe you're coming anemic. We'll give you, they couldn't figure it out. You put drug, beat, and rape, it fits. Amnesia drug, and they said they can control anybody with those drugs. I talked to a sheriff about it. He said those amnesia drugs are so bad, they could have told those people, drugged them up, told them to take down the towers, and then killed everybody and didn't even know they did it. They control you with them. Those things are horrible. I told you my one co-worker, Dar, got taken from a bar, and she got left in a puddle of pee. My neighbor Mike got roofied in a bar. He drove around high all night, went to the bank, went out to eat, came home, changed his shoes, and didn't know how he got home. He was freaking out. He'd been out sleep driving for hours. None of this is funny. It happens more than what people think in restaurants and bars. But these people are so vile, they're breaking in your home. Nobody can be in your home but police and agencies under a threat of life. They lie to people that there was an attorney involved. There's no attorney involved. Because why? No attorney would. They tell them to shut up because you're all going to go to jail for this. I was found innocent of everything. That agent, I told you the next day, I tried to tell him on a recorded line, somebody told on me. He called me a liar. Why did he call me a liar? Instead of asking for the church's name. Because it was him. When I tried to tell him that they threatened to knife me. That guy threatened to knife me at Huntington Giant Eagle. And I got away from him. He called me a liar. And I said the Pizza Hut lady got paid to watch me and the banker's yelling at him. He tried to kidnap me before. He called me a liar. Was there a camera above the bench where you were sitting? I don't know. If you don't know that there's a camera above that bench, you better say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I'm like, what? He said, now, was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. Then say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. It's like, fine, whatever. Terry let me tape her with her permission. She seen the guy try to kidnap me. He is the one that took my house manager, Merlisa's niece. He killed my other co-worker, Lori, her family, and they laughed at her that they tied her up and cut her into pieces. Huh? We all got the same story of the same people. This other girl I was training at my one job, she's like, everybody knows about the guy in the white van with the dark hair. He stalks people and they kidnap them. The guys in the big truck that use they're part of the drug traders, human trafficking people out of this area. Okay? That they're working with the guy with the white van, tall white guy with black hair, and the other guy. And there are people in stores communicating with people, trying to grab people out of stores. They got fake FBI badges. They need to be stopped. We're now 4th in the nation. It goes New York, Florida, Texas, and Ohio. Because they got set up here in 18. I told you the girl at the ATM where they're selling the login to the protected custody case, and they've been selling it since the first 30 days. She used to follow me around, her and her group. We all know she's innocent. She's not half bad. She ought to interview to be a stepmom. We'll take care of her. They'll go through us. Like they were big and bad. Those sweet babies used to go shopping with me. I about died. In 20, they took her. I seen her picture. I cried and cried. They went and got her later. More people have disappeared within the next 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks out of Columbus and Cleveland. I told you my one friend 2 hours away. I have a friend on the police department. They're using the case that agent opened with you. Because see, after he bullied me, he made me beg for my life. Then he listed me a foreman. $5,000 a month for life, immunity for life. Even when you tell, then he flip-flopped. Okay? For working this case. He flip-flopped. So I'd be too afraid to tell anybody. He already told on me. You want to say he's incompetent and he can't do his job, or he's paid off like everybody said he was? I had a 25 grand hit on my life. They probably paid him off because nobody's this stupid. My one friend from the prosecutor's office called it a backdoor deal. Now, the guy that had a friend in the police department 2.5 hours away, they're going to use that case that agent opened. They knew about the Texas group in your case. I said, oh, the Kingsmen. Is that what they called herself? There was a retired judge in Texas involved in this big human trafficking scam. They went down a question and killed himself. There's another judge in another state involved in this. And they found 35 people tied up in a railroad car. And they're going to use that case that agent opened with you to get these people, the drug traders, human trafficking people. And they're getting ready to take care of it. That was January 20th, 23. My phone's tapped. It records if I'm on it or not. Huh? February 14th, sheriffs and marshals out of this area did an 800 people sweep. Michigan, the Michigan group was here. New York people that were here. Pennsylvania, Florida, Texas, the California group that was here, and a bunch of other states. I had a 2-mile-long parade of drug traders and human traffickers. My personal horror from an occult abusing the hell out of me. See, that's one of the things this lady said. He said he's going to turn her back over to him. I thought, what a horrible lie. He did. He opened up a case, defrauded me, and the police departments told him to watch me, but nobody was allowed to help me. Failure to protect his abuse and misconduct. They should have been called the Department of Justice and had him arrested. That's where my one friend is the sheriff out of this area, or your local police low. They should have arrested that agent the first day, and that retired judge. He can't do any of this. No, he can't. And nobody can be in your home except for protected life cases with statements. They can't even look or listen. I told Officer Reinhardt in Louisville about it. He started giggling like a little girl. He said, I don't care what they say they got. I don't care what they say they did. He said, until that agent took your statement and agreed to protect you, the FBI would go to jail for being in your home. And they could go to jail for look or listening. That's why Lighthouse Tabernacle, June 7th, 2023, Walmart 62, by the ladies' bathroom, call out FBI Agent John. FBI Agent John fell off of the tapes before. What on earth? It was just a stunt. Oh, come on now. John fell for it. That agent actually fell for the tapes before. It was only a stunt. You're kidding, right? He actually fell for it. Is that why they got away with this? Calling him out, mocking him. Do they want the wrath of God to come down on them? Or the wrath of the federal government? Because nobody's as stupid. More likely they just paid him off because nobody's that stupid. Because you're going to say where they went to set up their surveillance, they didn't find Pete's dirty cameras? See, there comes a level of competency. He knew about them. And the shower scene in the other room, they admitted March 2nd to the 3rd, 21. They were going to put 2 clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. And then it's like, what you're describing is showering? And I walked outside, ha ha ha. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22. They found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22. The shower scene was done on purpose. And then all the way from May 25th, 21, of the church people breaking in before drugging me, telling me say weirdo stuff. I got 2 witnesses in my phone, to a whole bunch of people. Everything was drugged and photoshopped and made up on me. I got a whole long list, and a lot of them already went to the police. And like my out in North Canton, kids were talking. They let the people that were following around let us listen to them admitting they put clips together and put that shower scene in the other room, that they drugged her and told her to say it before, and that they framed her, and how they fooled that agent, and they laughed at him. Can you imagine a church doing this because he was cheating with that one girl? Can you imagine them being even part of it? We ought to tell on them. I think I'll tell on them too. A lot of people have. Because it's the Jim Jones occult, thinking that they can kick in anybody's door, date, rape, drug them. The poor thing's waking up with bruises, infected, running to the bathroom, throwing up, going to the doctor, and doctors not realizing somebody's breaking in their home and violating them. My ex-husband is not my pimp. He cannot give people special permission to watch me unaware. And like they said, that idiot cannot hire a stalker. Yesterday, some lady's like, I wish somebody arrest that idiot. Some of the drug dealers laughed last Sunday. He had hired me and my men to tape her unaware and do all those things and then document them. And we're not going down for that idiot. That idiot can't do anything. He doesn't own me. He couldn't, if he wanted to go out and whore around with Savannah, Katie, he wanted Michelle, the stripper, he wanted all these other women, just leave me. He can't interfere in my life. He can't have people follow me. He can't have people watch me and tape me unaware and stalk me. He can't, like they said, that idiot can't hire a stalker. Worse, he was hiring like they said, he hired a serial rapist. Someone that was breaking in, selling videos of me and him in bed, taping me in the bathroom, in the shower, the thing. Do you realize my grandkids use that bathroom? They obtain and dispense kiddie porn. They sex trafficked videos of me and Dave in bed, and they laughed that it was a stunt. They were getting even with me because Dave called Katie fat and ugly in Macy's, and that was a stunt, or her family wouldn't have found out. Because we were in Macy's, and she was in Prussia and Oak. She, like Dave said, she's pathetic. She wants attention. Well, so does he. And I'm telling you, you guys have lapped their... The only people that are out here doing this is Lighthouse Tabernacle, New Life Tabernacle, Apostolic Church of Barberton, because they're all the friends and family of those girls. And the drug cartel that they used to get the amnesia drugs. They drugged me up, told me to say stuff. You know, I was in Golden Corral the other day. Some guy said, none of this is funny. Actually, the only thing they did have on her, she wiped some water off her clothes on. They didn't have anything else. See, that's where they told the nurse at Mercy Medical, March 13, 21. Lady came in, no man was ever to touch her. I'm in diplomatic immunity. Okay? Nurse comes in laughing, the only thing they have you on is dressing yourself. The guy standing there said, that's sick. She said, no, it's really funny. She just simply wiped off some water with clothes on. That's all they had. They didn't have anything else. No, is that exposing? Then they started saying, you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, it look weird. That's a big difference than just brushing off water with clothes on. That's a big difference. And I thought, it made my stomach bleed. I thought you took my head and put it on somebody else's body. Then they kept saying it. It's like, well, they play with you. They play with you big time. What would you be doing? You touch yourself, expose yourself, you're undressing. You touch yourself, it looks weird, but you're not. You're putting yeast infection cream on, or you undressed and got in the shower. You're showering, right? I walk outside, smoke, she figured out what they did. They found the tape of it, my car's bugged. FBI informant. That's where May 12, 22, May 26, 22, December 9, 21, at the Oakland apartment. Same guy, the guy at the day at the white man ball with the dark eyes that's distributing food. Everything was drugged and photoshopped. My client in Navarre, her next door neighbor, retired Judge Pete, drugged and photoshopped everything and made everything up on me. They amnesia drugged me, and I guess they're supposed to, where I only woke up with bruises and I didn't talk to anybody, that they were supposed to have told me to say I was some kind of weirdo, that I was supposed to hurt everybody, I'm supposed to be a flasher. I'm like, dear God, that's sick. And then why couldn't they make me like a car thief or jewel thief? But you know what I mean? It's sick, and they think they're funny. Some guy in January 19 had said that they photoshopped me using a feminine wipey in the other room. I thought, what before? And that's sick. See, they come up and have told me all kinds of crazy stuff, and the only thing I had was bruises, throwing up, and a severe personal infection, and a really bad headache from the drugs. And see, that's where Dar, the girl that got taken from a barn, left willingly with him. And she didn't know she left with him. And she found herself in a puddle of pee. She had a headache, she was dizzy, throwing up. And even Mike said he had the same reaction. And messed up for a few days. You don't ever remember. And it makes you really sick afterwards. They were spiking my Diet Coke or my coffee creamer. I told you, even 8/9/21, the apartment building formed a second close offense. A lady and little girls lived there. And they rented out Dave, and 4 or 5 neighbors told on them in 21 that I was stalked and told to say it before. They got Eric Hyde, November 18, 22, Walmart 62, 2 to 6 p.m. And he came in Walmart by the hair salon, screamed out that all the tapes before were him and not me, and it was done for a stunt for everyone to turn on me, and they fell for it. And he had nothing to do with it. They drugged him up and told him to stay in a public place. That's how not funny this is. March 23rd, 23. Two undercover officers have been around me since 18. They come in Walmart 62, 2 to 6 p.m. Okay? Um, they yell out, "We told these people to stay out of this. We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never hurt anybody, and nobody ever seen anything. My whole family spoke highly of me." And I told you, Melissa's kids got caught. Melissa got caught telling, because that agent opened a real case and everybody's following around. Dave always accused me of having all these men following me around. Oh, they want you. They don't want me. They were busy chasing off stalkers. They're undercover police and security. I didn't tell him that. But everybody had men and women following people around. Dear God, they grabbed the wrong guy in Walmart. Oh dear Lord, I was so embarrassed he screamed at me in front of people. They caught Melissa friends with Michelle, one of Dave's girlfriends, telling the kids to lie. And then on Thanksgiving of 18, that they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Papa. And later on to Flora, my other granddaughter, they made everything up. And then Flora ratted them out October 23rd, 2019. Of course, it never happened. Of course, it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend. Giggle, giggle, giggle. They're documented being games of pretend. Some of the investigators called it fucking shit my family should be ashamed of. They were talking about Melissa Line clear into 21. October 5th, 21, 1:53 p.m., Huntington Bank on Cleveland Avenue. Group of them are talking, "We don't want Melissa getting no money out of this." That's okay. They knew they made everything up. They didn't want anybody to help her. He's like, "Who's that crazy Melissa?" They all talk about lying all the time. And I was like, the ex-daughter-in-law friends with ex's girlfriend had the kids make up a bunch of mean games to pretend in front of the police. And he's like, "She's crazy. I know she is." They're all these people crazy. They're Lighthouse Tabernacle, New Life Tabernacle, and Apostolic Church of Barberton. They're all intermarried. Friends or family of those girls in it with the drug cartel that are human trafficking people. That stripper was involved. If it wasn't that stripper, she looks really close to her because I showed my one neighbor that used to go to my church. I said, "Do you ever see her before?" He's like, "Yeah, I've seen her several times. Where did I see her?" I said, "Church." She used to show up and mock me. Yeah, well, they gave up over a month ago. Some guy came in and said, "Don't ever insult strippers. They make over $100,000 a year." See, all these people come from family or people from authority. There were those extra girlfriends, and he used and manipulated those families to help that occult get away with it. It's a severe Jim Jones occult. They're helping human traffic people. They're trying to convince people in this area that they can kick in your door, stalk you, that they can sell videos of you in bed with your partner, you showering. And that's not sex trafficking videos. It is too. That they can Photoshop scenes. And like my one friend, he said, I have a friend with a laptop. He said he could Photoshop that shower scene easy. And a lot of stuff. And he said, and I've talked to retired sheriffs. You'll never have a memory of what they drugged you and told you to say. And I told Altman family physician nurse, I said, in summer 18, I was seen for throwing up, heart racing, vomiting, bruising, and a severe personal infection, yes, and a real bad headache. And I said I found out my ex-husband was having me date raped, drugged, and being raped under it. She looked at me and said, "He's a vile, sick animal." Yes, he is. And so are these people that would dare, like they said, how dare these people even open their mouths to her? They want them to think they can break in their home and do this to them. It's called sextortion, what they're doing. It's a federal crime. They can never be in my home. Nobody can be in your home. It's a Fourth Amendment over the house. It's a severe Fourth Amendment violation. That's where the Akron or Coventry police were walking around where I was working and said, "Don't say anything to her. We already know the tapes before were them and not her," because police have been around documenting everything. that from everything being drugged and photoshopped before? Do you think that agent fell for those tapes? This is a couple months ago, or at least over a month ago. And they said he better not have known about it. He was to arrest him for stalking and a whole bunch of other charges. And he better not have looked at him. He knew better. Why? Because it's a severe Fourth Amendment violation. Like Officer Reinhardt said, even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home. They could never even look or listen. Nobody can. They made a mistake and did it in your home. Oh, they have the churches nailed too. They have Terry's phone call I didn't hang up of the churches taking up $25,000. It was Keith Bishop, Strange, and Ron. They have me killed and they hired 2 men to kill me. They have Dave that he hired 2 men to kill me for his girlfriend. I had to die for them to get everything. That him and Jack had it planned since March, and one of his girlfriend's family thought owned the police up there. They forgot to tell you that part. Yeah. I want you to think about this. I'm gonna go for a walk. But yeah, they forget to tell you that. Nobody can be in your home except for police and agencies protected a live case. It's called entrapment. It's a legal search and seizure. Do you realize what a sitting judge would do to these people? I had a friend that used to be in the prosecutor's office. It's a fraud scheme. They made a mistake and did it in your home. They probably did Photoshop that shower scene and where you're sick and bruised and throwing up. They probably did drug you and tell you to say something stupid so you'd be sleepwalking. They could never use it. They made a mistake and did it in your home.